Hello there, and welcome to Woodford Sports Weekly, the only internet show dedicated to bringing you coverage of Woodford County sports. I'm Thomas Mims, the sports reporter for the Woodford Sun, and for all of us here at the Sun, we are just excited to bring you our latest foray into digital media with this show. We're going to call this episode the Table Setter episode because we're still kind of figuring out what we want the show to be, what you all would like the show to be. So if you do have any kind of suggestions, comments, that kind of thing, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Feel free to write us, email us at sports@woodfordsun.com or send a letter to the editor, however you choose to go about that. But we do appreciate feedback as we kind of get this show going. For starters, we chose to do this show on Sundays because it seems like the kind of natural day to bridge things between our Thursday editions. And then it also, of course, gives us the quickest chance to respond to what's happened over the weekend, whether it be football in the fall or Friday, Saturday basketball games. Just those kind of things where it happened pretty much right after our issue came out. You're not going to be able to read about it until next Thursday. So let's get you something you can kind of read and check in on Woodford Sports in the meantime so you're not stuck waiting a whole week with no coverage. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of how the show might look moving forward, let's show you what you came for, some highlights. Late first quarter, Lady Jackets with an early 10-6 lead. Mackenzie Caro, the drive, the kick to Abby Moffitt. Buckets, the senior's three puts Woodford up 7. Moffitt would finish with 10 points. Another senior, Kayla Harlow, finished with 12. Here she gets the post feed from Mackenzie Caro down on the left block. First shot doesn't go, but the senior sticks with it and gets 2 of her 12. Another 2 coming right up. Caro on the drive, she misses, but Harlow gets the putback and gives Woodford County a 17-9 lead at the end of the first quarter. Moving to the second half now, Caro gets a chance to score on this nifty layup. Late in the fourth quarter, Lady Jackets holding on to the lead, and Abby Hudson's going to look ahead for Neon Gentry. She's not going to be able to finish, but Delaney Enlow comes along and puts it back for 2 of her 25 points in the game. The Lady Jackets roll in that one 66-50 over the Frankfort Panthers. Friday night, the 7-5 Grant County Lady Braves came to the Hive with Delaney Enlow just 2 points away from 2,000 for her career. Early in the game, Enlow goes 1 of 2 at the line, so she's partying like she's at 1999. And 3 minutes into the game now, Abby Hudson lobs it into Enlow, and she's going to make a good strong move to the basket for points number 2,000 and 2001. And now we're pleased to be joined by Delaney Enlow, the newest member of the 2,000-point club for the Woodford County girls basketball program. So Delaney, everybody just kind of saw that moment on our highlights just a second ago. How awesome was that moment for you to be a part of that club and do so kind of with that awesome move you made in the paint?
It felt really good with that move because when I reached 1,000 points, it actually wasn't a good game for me. I was missing all my shots, so it was good that it was early in the game and I wasn't missing my shots, and it was just smooth and easy for me. I was kind of proud that I wasn't playing bad to go into it,
Gotcha. Now, did you miss the free throw on purpose so you could actually score a basket for the 2,000th point?
No, I was really nervous, so I happened to miss it.
So you all, obviously, with the new coaching staff, tons of injuries, tons of kind of sickness, that kind of stuff, have had a lot of adversity to go through early in the season. Just kind of talk us through kind of what that's been like around the team, just trying to get from where you're at right now, dealing with adversity, to where this team can be come, February, March.
It's really frustrating, to be honest. Everybody knows the potential our team has. It's just we're not given the opportunity to get there quite yet. We still have Nana coming back, trying to get her ankle back and be at her full potential. We still have a lot of people who are playing through injuries, so they're not at their best potential. And it is a new coaching staff, and where I've been, this is my 3rd coaching staff, I've seen the transition before. It's a struggle every time we transition, so it's expected. But I think everyone's really frustrated because we know our potential. We just haven't gotten to show it, and I think a lot of people are kind of second-guessing our potential, but we all know we have it, and it's frustrating when we can't show it. And I think we're starting to put it together, but we're still trying to get our flow together.
Right, and it'll be a process, but you all have plenty of time. There's still, quite a bit of the season left. So I doubt anybody watching this that actually cares enough to watch this show would actually not know this, but you are also a softball superstar and are going to be a Louisiana Ragin' Cajun next year. Just kind of talk everybody through what that process was like, what the recruitment process has been like, and ultimately what made you choose Louisiana.
So I started thinking about college when I was around 8th grade, because for softball recruiting, you have to start young. And so it's a little bit different than most people how they choose their college if they're not playing sports. Like, a lot of people are choosing it their senior year. They're applying to a lot of colleges. Me, I had to know my major at the age of 13. I had to know generally where I wanted to go. I had to know what I wanted in a school, and I had to actually perform and travel and do all the camps. So it's a little bit more than just admissions. So it's really different being committed since you were a sophomore, because a lot of people are going through the stress of college, and I've just been waiting to go kind of thing. But I was kind of acting like a senior as an 8th grader. And the thing about recruiting is it's not just like a one-stop kind of thing. Like, I went through multiple colleges. My coach actually was at Texas A&M, so I was supposed to go to Texas A&M, and then Hurricane Harvey happened, and so I didn't get to go down there for a camp. And then he moved to Auburn, and then he came and watched me play, and I was about to go on an official visit to Auburn, and then he moved to Louisiana Lafayette. Now, during all this, I was also going on an unofficial visit to Louisville. So there was all that, and then I had Georgia Tech interested. It's just a big process that was unreal, and my coach, Les Anderson, made it so much easier on me. He's good friends with my coach. He introduced me to my coach, because honestly, if I didn't have Les, I wouldn't have met Jerry Glasgow, who's the head coach at Louisiana. But Jerry Glasgow is known for being the best hitting coach in the country, and he really values his players and values improving his players. And where I'm not a pitcher or anything like that, I'm looking for a hitting coach. So that was a big thing. And then we weren't really sure about Louisiana Lafayette, because I honestly had never heard of them. I didn't know their history. Their history is actually really good. They're one of the only 8 teams to be in the NCAA tournament for 10 years consecutively.
I think missed one since 99, I think is what I saw.
Yeah, so they definitely, and they're preseason ranked number 5 in the country, something like that. So I didn't know anything about any of that because I'd never heard of them, and so I was a little iffy. But then I went down there, and just seeing the community surrounding softball, it is a softball school. The dean of Louisiana Lafayette goes to every single game. I happen to be doing mechanical engineering. The dean of engineering goes to every single softball game. So I think it's really cool, the community surrounding the softball team. They have a booster club that makes them food after every game, and they have tailgating, which isn't very common with softball. And overall, it's just a great history to be a part of. They have a great culture and this great legacy to be a part of that I honestly didn't know about. But now that I know about it, I can't wait to be a part of.
And I think I speak for everybody when we say we can't wait to see what you do there. But, of course, you still got the rest of your senior season here, and I think we're all excited to see not only how that plays out on the softball field, but also out on the basketball court. So, again, thank you for joining us here on the first ever Woodford Sports Weekly, and we'll see you back out at the games.
Thank you.
A big thank you once again to Delaney Enlow for joining us as the first and hopefully not last guest of Woodford Sports Weekly. Unfortunately, the Lady Yellow Jackets did not get the win Friday night against Grant County. They fell 68-56 despite Delaney's 16 points. Woodford County also got another 16 from 8th grader Nia Rhodes. But again, the Lady Braves take that one 68-56 over the Jackets. Now, the Lady Jackets are back in action Monday night at Spencer County. So if you're so inclined, you can make the trip down to Taylorsville, and they will be taking on the Lady Bears, one of their new district rivals, at 7:30. Now we're going to transition to the boys' side of things, as the Yellow Jackets were coming in on a 5-game win streak into the week and took on Nelson County Thursday night. Cardinals came into the game 8-6. The Yellow Jackets at home for the first time since December 21st. Jackets get on the board early. Anthony Tabor to Ashton Miles DeVort. The The Jackets led 38-20 at halftime, got ahead by as many as 21 in the third quarter, and go on to win 61-53 over Nelson County. Last night, the Jackets were at undefeated Ashland Blazer. The Jackets led 21-20 at halftime, but end up falling 68-49. And it's going to just about wrap things up for us here at the Woodford Sun as we finish out the first ever episode of Woodford Sports Weekly. We do hope you enjoyed what you saw and that you'll come back and give us another try next week for the January 12th episode. You didn't quite know what you were going to get, but we hope this show delivered at least a little bit of what you were hoping for. And feel free to leave us comments, criticism, that kind of thing in the comments, or send an email to sports@woodfordsun.com if you'd like. A big thank you to Delaney Enlow for joining us earlier on the program. She didn't quite know what she was getting into when she joined us for the first ever episode as a guest, but we hope she enjoyed her time on the show as well. And before we go, we do have one piece of kind of frustrating / troubling kind of news to deliver to you. It appears that Friday night, either during or shortly after the game between the Lady Jackets and the Lady Bears, somebody left a fingerprint smudge on the back of Coach Eric Daniels' vehicle, and that fingerprint smudge spelled out a racial slur. So we do want to extend the Woodford Sun support to the school, the program, and of course Coach Daniels as they work with law enforcement to get that situation figured out and kind of determine the either culprit or I guess culprit and motivations of such a thing. In the meantime, our reporters John McGarry and Bob Vlatch, one of them, will be following up on the story to hopefully give you the full scoop when we go to print and you get your Thursday issue. In the meantime, we will probably be following up on social media with whatever updates we get, so stay tuned to those, and thank you for liking and subscribing to us and following the Woodford Sun. I think that's going to do it for us here, finally. We hope it was a good first episode. We hope you enjoyed what you saw. Please come back next week, and we'll try to do a better job as we sort of work through the kinks. But thank you again, and for all of us at the Woodford Sun, I'm Thomas Mims saying we'll see you at the games.